Hello! This is Global Family FUKUSHIMA. So, apologies for the clickbaity title of the video. I'm sure it's going to be clickbaity. But yes, I was in hospital again. So, I thought we would share this experience with everyone. Because there was a few things that were different this time. So, I want to share with you what I went through this time. Take a look. って感じ? So, background to this story. This time, I have been experiencing some abdominal pain for the past year, I guess. And while we still haven't found out why, as part of trying to figure out why, I had a colonoscopy a couple of months ago. Fun story! I found out that some places in Japan do colonoscopies without sedation, and my mother was very surprised and shocked and horrified when she heard about it. And I actually watched a famous American medical drama the other day where the main doctor wanted to give a girl a colonoscopy without sedation, and the other doctors were like, "No, you can't do that. That would be like torture." So I've had that colonoscopy without sedation, and it was not fun. Can confirm, is like torture. But I had that a couple of months ago, and when I had that done, they found a largish polyp in my colon. So they weren't able to remove it then because I was in too much pain. Go figure. So they sent me to a bigger hospital. So I went back to the same hospital where I had my lung surgery. For this particular colonoscopy, I had to eat specific meals for the day before. So I want to show you what that means, what food I was given. So yesterday I went into hospital quite early in the morning, I guess, and I think the process is fairly similar worldwide, where they basically make sure that you are completely clean before they do the colonoscopy. I believe the reason why I was being put into hospital for a night instead of just doing it in day surgery was because they knew I was having something removed and because they were doing under sedation. And in Japan, they're quite cautious about sedation and masui or anesthesia. So I think that's why. I'm not 100% sure why or what the rules are overseas because I've never done this anywhere else. But I was admitted to hospital, did all the paperwork, all that other stuff, started drinking all the liquids that they give you. Got my needs to drink. And then I went down to the room where they do the test on around 2:30, I think, in the afternoon. And I was doing it under sedation. But unfortunately, I was sedated, but I discovered that they maxed me out on sedation and it was still not quite enough to make sure that I stayed asleep. So it wasn't the best experience, but it was still better than the previous time. I think the doctor was doing a check on how sedated I was by calling my name, and I went, "Hi!" and then he went, "Oh," and told the nurse to give me more of the medication. I still was in and out aware of what was going on, but in the end, I remember less and less as time is going by, so I guess that's a side effect of the medication that I had. He said he removed the polyp without problems. It was bigger than he anticipated. It was about 2 centimeters, I think. So I will go back to the doctor in a couple of weeks to get the results and make sure it isn't precancerous or cancerous. He doesn't think it is, but that is one of the risks with polyps, is that they can develop into something else. So yeah, after I had the polyp removed, I was supposed to be wheelchaired back to my room, but they gave me so much sedative like the maximum amount. And then they also had to give me a painkiller because I was in quite a lot of abdominal pain. So I was actually taken up to my room again in the bed, and then left for a while to sleep it off, I guess. And I didn't get any meals at all yesterday, which was a little bit sad, really. The previous colonoscopy, maybe because I was a test, I was allowed to eat when everything was finished. But this time, maybe just in case there were complications, in case they needed to rush me into full surgery, I wasn't allowed to eat anything until this morning. So I actually ended up going more than 36 hours without eating. And the last meals had been like less than 1,000 calories in the whole day. I should have been way more hungry than I was, but I wasn't that hungry. And then I had breakfast, which I'll show you in this video. They came and told me that my first meal would be breakfast, and I was like, what? There's not going to be anything today? And they're like, no. And they asked me if I had any allergies that they needed to consider for my breakfast. And then at that time I asked, would it be possible to have bread? The reason being, the last time I was in hospital, I asked for bread, but I wasn't able to actually get it until like 3 days later. So this time I was like, can I actually get bread like tomorrow? Because I knew I was only staying one night. But the nurse kindly said that she would check for me, and she ended up coming back later saying that they had on my notes, because it's the same hospital, it's one of the benefits of going to the same hospital, on my notes they said that I asked for bread and yogurt for breakfast. So she asked me if that's what I wanted. And also previously I had asked to have the amount of rice or food reduced because I didn't need quite as much food as they were giving me. But she was like, do you really want us to reduce it? Because you won't have eaten for a really long time. You'll probably be really, really hungry. So I was like, no, don't reduce it. Give me the full amount, because I knew it was going to be my first meal in a really long time. But it was kind of cool that they remembered, and then also that they were able to change it for the next day. Because it wasn't quite so immediate last time.
ナースステーションの隣のところに献立表あって、今週1週間のメニューみたいなの書いてあって、横に特別食って言って追加料金でパンとか選べるようになってて、
なんか特別メニューの中で前回特別メニュー注文しようみたいな1週間分ずつみたいな配られて、でその時に欲しいならチェックしてねみたいな感じであったんだよね。でもその時は昼だけじゃなかったのかな、わかんないけど、でもyou had to order on like Friday, and then it would be for the next Monday to Sunday or something. So it wasn't like for the next day. So I was a little bit worried that they wouldn't be able to change it this time, because I don't hate rice, but if I have rice first thing in the morning, I tend to feel bleh in my belly, and on top of already feeling bleh in my belly because of everything that had happened the day before, I really didn't want to eat something that I knew my body was probably not going to be happy about. So it's a good thing they were able to change it. But yeah, I don't know, maybe the system has changed since I was hospitalized last time, because the last time was over 3 years ago, and it was in the middle of COVID. So lots of things were probably different. I was curious though. Last time I was hospitalized, they said to me, normally meals are taken in the big hall common area thing. And when I was hospitalized last time, they were like, we normally would eat meals there, but because of COVID, we will bring it to you in your room and you will eat in your own space so that you're not potentially exposing anyone. So I was curious as to whether they might have changed that, but actually they hadn't. It was still eating in your own space. I guess because as a hospital they still do require masks outside of your own space, so I suppose that's probably why, because if you are eating in a joint space, then that is still an infection risk regardless. Do you have any questions?
No.
I don't know if you have any questions or I missed anything. So this is my first meal in over 36 hours. So after breakfast, the doctor came in and checked on me, and he said, while I was still having some abdominal pain, I didn't have any bleeding or anything else, so I was free to go home. And then I had to wait a really long time until she actually showed up, but that's a different story. And then in a couple of weeks, I will get the results from the pathology, and hopefully everything is fine. Anyway, sorry to scare you guys. I am doing fine, but I thought it was an interesting experience. My mother was very shocked about my initial experience with a colonoscopy in Japan. So if you are getting a colonoscopy, if you are a foreigner, particularly in Japan, who ends up having to need a colonoscopy, I recommend going to a big hospital that will do it under sedation, because you will be surprised that many don't. Good luck. So I just wanted to share with you the results of my polyp removal. I got the results the other day. I went back to the doctor and he basically said that it was a very good result, mainly because what they found, the kind of polyp, was a sessile serrated lesion. I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly, but that it means it wasn't cancerous, but that it is something that can turn into cancer if left alone. So removing it was the best possible thing that we could do. So basically all of the choices that we made in this process were the right ones, essentially. So yeah, it was a good result. They seem to have got it all. I don't seem to have any other polyps at this stage, so it's something that I'll just have to keep an eye on. But it's good to know that I caught it early and basically prevented potential future cancer in that specific spot. I had symptoms, but they weren't explained by this. But luckily, because I was looking for the source of the symptoms, we found this and we're able to deal with it. Hopefully, I'll figure out why I have abdominal pain. But, you know, we've done what we can do and this was a good result. So I'm glad we did it. Anyway, everybody, take care of yourselves. I hope that you never have to experience hospital in Japan. But if you do, I'm always around. Shoot me a comment if you have any questions. Thank you for watching. Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that.
I know.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Don't look at me like that.